No intro. You know why you're here. Deshaun Watson named quarterback one, week one for the Cleveland Browns. And how do we get here? How do we get here? Who's making the decisions in the organization? Let's start there real quick. Who's making the decisions in the Cleveland Browns organization? It can't possibly be Todd Monken. Can't be. Can't possibly be him because I as somebody that played football, as a fan of football, as somebody that watches the NFL at large, seeing what we saw in that preseason game on Saturday, what Deshaun Watson did out on the field, and then what he said, what he did in the press conference afterwards, I cannot imagine another head football coach on earth deciding to make that man his starting quarterback for the season. I cannot fathom it. I cannot fathom Deshaun Watson is the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns in week one. So that leads me to believe that it has to be an ownership decision. It has to be Jimmy Haslam, D. Haslam, meddling in football business again because they have a relationship with Deshaun Watson. And I mean, even Deshaun said it at the press conference. This is he's not deciding who the quarterback is. It's a Jimmy, it's a D, it's an AB, it's a Todd decision. You can cut them last two names off. This has got to be a Jimmy Haslam decision. It's got to be an ownership decision because the audacity of this team, this organization, to look at what happened on Saturday and to say, you know what? Look you dead in the eyes as a Browns fan and say, you know what? Fuck you and your feelings. We don't care. This is our guy. And if that's how the organization feels, what are we doing as a fan base? What are we doing? Why are we accepting this? Like, it's so stupid. It's so unfortunate. Sports fandom is so irrational and stupid and illogical because I'm still going to watch this team. I'm still going to come on YouTube and talk about this team. It's going to be in a very different tone than what I would like it to be because what in God's name is happening. But I'm still invested emotionally in this team, and I hate myself for it. This is absolutely he can't, like, he is being named the starter after one of the worst performances we've ever seen when he was out there in the third quarter of a preseason game playing against second team, third string, fourth team guys. Some of those dudes that he played against Buffalo are going to be in a cubicle next to mine in a couple weeks after cut down day. We're going to be in the same conference rooms having interviews at corporate offices, and Deshaun Watson can barely move down the field against those guys. This is unfathomable. I can't believe I'm here recording this video. How? I didn't want, like, this whole offseason, I didn't want to believe that it was just about the money, about the contract, because either way, no matter what happens, if he plays, if he doesn't play, he's getting what's owed to him on the contract, and the cap situation was going to be what it was going to be either way. Like, he was never going to be cut. Like, he was going to be a member of the Cleveland Browns roster in 2026, no matter what. You can't cut him because of the way void years are structured in the contract. It cannot be cut. It has to just expire at the end of the season. So cutting him was never an option, and we knew that. We knew that this whole time, that cutting him was never an option. What I suggested on Saturday was to do what the Houston Texans did to him in 2020 and deactivate him. He's a member of the roster. He's a member of the 53-man roster, but send him home. Send him home. He's not in the building. Just go over there, collect your paychecks, do whatever you want. It doesn't matter because you're not a part of this team anymore. That felt like the only option. But I was wrong, because the only option was to name him the starter. That was the only option, was to name him the starter for week 1. This godforsaken franchise is a laughingstock of not just the NFL, but the sports world in general. Every time you need a punchline, just bring up the Browns. If you're a comedian, if you want to gain favor in your workplace, if you want to look funny on social media, all you have to do is bring up the Browns and you'll automatically get laughs, because everybody knows, oh, the Browns are ass. Browns are terrible. Browns are laughingstock. Browns are incompetent. The Browns is the Browns, quote unquote. And we'll be living with that forever. Forever. Because of shit like this. The worst people you know are defending Deshaun Watson. Have been defending him and are still defending him. For whatever their chosen reason is. They still think he's the guy that was looking Patrick Mahomes eye to eye while he was in Houston. He's never going to be that guy. He's never going to be that guy again. And I saw it all day Saturday, all day Sunday. People are still defending this man. Why? Please, I do not for the life of me understand. I don't give a shit that the stadium cheered when he tore his Achilles. You know why they cheered when you tore your Achilles. You want, people want to say, oh, well, he was right. It was personal. Yeah, it was personal, because people don't like you because you're a sex pest. People don't like you. People do not like you. So it is personal there. And also, on top of that fact, you are dog shit. What else are people supposed to do? They're supposed to revere you because you're Deshaun Watson, starting quarterback of the Cleveland Browns? We're supposed to worship the ground that you walk on? I don't understand people still supporting him. I absolutely don't understand the Cleveland Browns making him the starter. This doesn't make any sense. None of this makes sense. If you were going to do this and have a quarterback competition, if you were going to do this, you had enough reason after Thursday, after the joint practice, you had enough reason to just close it there. You're the head coach. We know what you say goes, Todd Monken. You can do whatever you want. You made it quite clear to everybody in the media that you do what the fuck you want to do with this football team. So if you wanted to name this bitch ass nigga the starter, you could have just done it after Thursday. He had a great day on Thursday. Just call it then. Be a man about it. Don't be scared about the Shador Sanders fans. You big tough Todd. You big tough Todd. Nobody if he was gonna do this shit, just do it. Call it on Thursday. Deshaun didn't have to play. Deshaun didn't have to get in the game. And then we might, feel just a little bit better because we didn't see him play like dog shit against niggas that's in the cubicle next to me. What are we doing? What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Why do we support this dumb ass team, man? What's the point? Okay. So what the plan? So what's the plan? Oh, I forgot. Let me remember. There's a preseason game on Thursday. Browns are at home. But yesterday, I don't know if it's confirmed, but there was reporting that neither Deshaun or Shador will play in the preseason game on Thursday. Why is that? Why is that? If Shador Sanders is your backup quarterback, and you know that he needs the development, he needs the reps, why isn't he going to play? Why isn't he going to play? We know why Deshaun's not playing. That was clear because he's going to get booed out of the fucking building if he steps foot onto that field. And we can't hurt Deshaun Watson's feelings anymore, guys. You guys are bad people. You guys in the stadium, you booed him. You booed him and you hurt his feelings. You hurt his feelings. How could you do that to Deshaun Watson? Guys, do you know what Deshaun Watson has done for all of us in Cleveland? He did some community work a couple of times. He did some community work. So we can't hurt that guy's feelings anymore. We can't. Guys. How you can't we can't hurt his feelings. The fuck out of it. Y'all, the whole organization bitch made now. Like, he's not gonna play. Is he even gonna be on the field on Thursday? Is he even gonna be with the team on Thursday? Just because we know what's gonna happen. We know what's gonna happen. They're like, it's gonna get ugly. We know how Cleveland gets down in the stadium. Like, they better have security ramped up. They better in the entryway. They better make sure there's no batteries. There's anything that can be thrown a long distance. They better make sure none of that gets in there. Because there's going to be beer cans. There's going to be all type of shit thrown on that field on Thursday. This is ugly. This is nasty work. So the plan is start him week 1. Okay. Let's say plays like ass week 1, plays like ass week 2. And then you come home week 3. Then you play Shador at home. Are we just gonna platoon? Shador gets the home games, Deshaun gets the road game. Like what happens? What happens? It doesn't matter at this point. It doesn't matter if he plays well or not. When he comes home, week 3, he's getting booed. I don't care if he threw 10 touchdowns in week 1 and 2. He's getting booed. And that's on him. If he after Saturday was like, I played bad, I have to, take some accountability, I have to work more, I have to get better. I wish I didn't play. If he had any type of attitude like that on Saturday, if he were to play well week 1 and week 2, it might be different. But he told fans to kiss his ass. So the fans are gonna respond in kind to what he requested. And can you blame the fans that'll be in the building? I don't care what happens. Browns could be 2-0. He threw 13 touchdowns in week 1 and 2. He's getting booed when he steps on that field. And if he gets booed when he steps on that field, we know he's going to crumble Because look at what happened on Saturday. Again, I keep coming back to the same things. How did the organization come to this decision? We can't read this decision anything different than us as an organization do not care about you, the fan base. You don't matter. We don't care about you. We're going to do what we want. Okay. All right. Fine. Do what you want. Start the worst quarterback that's been in the league since 2022. Have your fan base boo him. Have the national media tell you how dumb you are. And, like, again, if this has to be an ownership decision, because Todd, I don't know. I don't know what the situation is here. Because if this is ownership decision, then it's out of your hands. But if it is an ownership decision, I would watch your back. Watch your back. Be prepared. I don't know what your housing situation is. I would say rent, don't buy. If if you've already bought, make sure your realtor is on point, because I don't know how long you'll be here. This smells like one and done. This smells like uh David Culley. Was it David Culley for the Houston Texans? One and done. Oh, we're just gonna be super duper ass this year. So we just needed a head coach. Todd, you've been wanting to be a head coach for a long time. Come on through. We'll pay you for your services, but we'll only need you for a year. 2027, we'll get who we really want. 2027, we'll get the quarterback we really want and the head coach we really want. Whoever that may be, I don't know. Because there's no way, as a self-respecting football coach, Todd Monken made this decision with no input from anybody else. There's no way. There's just absolutely no way. I actually refuse to believe that, because on a football level, I respect Todd Monken. So for me to wrap my brain around this, I have to say that this couldn't have come from Todd Monken, because the evidence is there. We've seen what Deshaun has looked like his whole entire tenure here, and both head coaches have continued to praise him in the media, in the press conferences, with how bad he's looked, how dog shit he's been as a football player and a person in the past. They've continued to sing praises of this man for whatever reason. So I have to believe it's coming from higher up than them. I have to believe. If both head coaches at this point are doing the same thing, it can't be a coincidence. It cannot be a coincidence, because I respect both of those guys as football people. They have to be doing this because of Jimmy Haslam. I have to believe that. I have to believe, and if it comes out I'm wrong, well, we'll talk about it then. But for if if you're Shedeur Sanders right now, what are you thinking? How are you feeling? Because you have to believe this team hates you. And I don't want to get into all the conspiracy theories and all the woo-woo talk about Shedeur, but like, legitimately today, you have to believe that this organization hates you, because there's no good reason for Deshaun Watson to be the starter over Shedeur Sanders. they're treating Shador Sanders as if he's Nathan Peterman, as if he's like, as if he's DTR. There's he's not this bad. He just flat out isn't this bad for you to willingly sign up for Deshaun Watson to play real snaps for you at just in general, but just after specifically what we saw Saturday. And yeah, it was a quarter of football from Deshaun. But the fact that he went up there and antagonized the fans afterwards, just let it all out. Just be honest. You're still well, I'm upset. They cheered when I tore my Achilles. I was in the community. I did community work, and they still booed me. Shut the Don't nobody care. Don't nobody care. Want to talk about community work? Shador Sanders does 100 times more community work and never brought it up. Has never brought it up. But you get booed one time and you bring up, I did community charity work. Cleveland needs a lot of things, but it doesn't need any fucking money from you. I'll see y'all in the next video.